Welcome to the CNC Connection, an all-in-one podcast that touches upon a variety of topics ranging from sports to TV shows. Here are your hosts, the non-experts on everything, Colin and Corey.
Welcome to the CNC Connection. It's Colin and Corey tonight, the dynamic duo, best friends
Hi, guys.
ever. Colin, sorry if this podcast is out kind of late. Colin is just found a new apartment. Let's all congratulate him on that. So he's been pretty busy. But tonight we're talking episode 2 of season 2 for Hell on Wheels. We actually got some comments in our YouTube channel. We just want to go over those real quick. Colin, do you have those up?
I don't.
Okay, well, I have them up because I'm the prepared one. All right, so just before we get into the review, let's just go over last week's comments for episode 1. XBL Monster said we had a lot of errors around the 25-minute mark.
And he's correct.
Otherwise, he said that was Elam who shot that guy who came back, who stole his woman,
the Irish
slave
guy.
woman, Ava. Yeah, the Irish man who Elam shot was the one who came back and is now living with Ava. And the man who got his head chopped off was a Union soldier. So we were half right. Obviously, we weren't really prepared for the last week. We're more prepared for this one. Thank you, XBL Monster, for clearing that up. And XBL Monster actually had 2 comments. He was really excited about this podcast apparently, but he actually made a good point about because we said last week that we get excited for the show, and then it's like, well, it kind of doesn't have that much of a payoff. It kind of lets you down. Mm-hmm. He said that he made a good point. He's like during an action scene with Bohannon and Harper remember when Bohannon was fighting him during a train at the season finale, and it was the wrong guy. Harper was the wrong person that he killed. Yep. That they kept cutting back to the dance scene, and he said that it made him lose a lot of interest in the excitement. So I think that's just poorly, it just shows a testament to how the show can be poorly directed at times, you know? Because I think that's a good point that he's making. There's not a lot of payoff with this show. You know, yeah. I mean, that's the climax of your season for the most part, and you're not even going to keep an entire scene. You're going to split it up with a boring dance scene. You know?
Yeah. There's certainly times when you want to just, I guess, I don't know, you don't really care about watching the show that much. I don't know how else to say it.
Right.
I don't know. There's just certain times where you can see why you don't. I don't know how to say it with my words. You're just not as interested as you are in some other points. It certainly goes through phases like that.
It's not consistently entertaining, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And yep.
And here's this is a kind of a troll comment, I want to say, but maybe they're just they didn't get the point of our argument. It's from J092091. He says, "You guys are dumb. When is racism going to be done? It's part of the scenery back in that time. Why are you complaining about something that was existent back then?" We're not. I want to clarify this. We're not complaining about the racism depicted in the show. We're complaining about the way it's portrayed. Colin made a good point. You want to say what you said earlier?
Yeah, we were not saying, oh, no, you shouldn't have racism in the show, because obviously back then there was a little bit of that going on.
Just a little bit, yeah.
But we don't like to we think the I don't know if I should use the same words as I did before, but you think it's okay?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I think it's the white. We always feel the white guilt, that it kind of gets pushed. And I know sometimes it's not on purpose, but it's when you have that feeling, you know.
Well, you said it was inverse racism or something like that.
Inverse racism. Yeah. We don't like I don't know. It sometimes they can overly push the.
It's preachy. It's preachy is what it is. I think it's just
exactly.
There's a way to portray racism, and I think the way they're doing it has just been it's I don't know. It's been done way too many times, like the white guilt trip, like you said. I mean, obviously, I don't know. It's just we're walking in a very narrow line right now, and I don't want to dwell on it too much. It's just. We get it. It happened. It was 160 years ago. Stop trying to make people feel guilty for it when it wasn't even their fault, I guess. I don't know. We're getting into a whole different thing right now. And then he made a comment, "Get off Bohannon's dick and just enjoy the show for everything it is and not what you want it to be. Just don't review it." The whole Bohannon thing is just a joke Colin and I have. It's just
It's not a joke, Corey.
well, obviously, I don't know. It's kind of a joke, but we like the character. We're playing around with it. But how he said, just don't review the show, enjoy it for what it is. I mean, we're not living in. This is the point of the podcast: is we're critiquing a show, and we think we can make it. We're not saying we can make it better. What we're saying, if we were in charge of the show, this is what we would do.
And we're just here. We do this for fun.
Yeah.
And if you want to listen, fine. And hopefully, like, you just don't have. Some people don't have people, especially for Hell on Wheels. No one really watches Hell on Wheels, so you can come on, listen to us talk about it, and it's like you're joining the conversation.
Yeah. So keep the comments coming, good or bad. We're still gonna break them down, but just try to be intelligent with what you're saying, because I don't know. It's just. I don't know. I don't want to keep responding to these troll threads for the most part. That's basically what I want to do. But thanks for XBL Monster for providing some interesting insight. Those are the comments we like to have. All right, now on to the review. This episode starts off with Ava going out and getting some water, and then the Indians come and just torch Durant and start murdering people. And I think, when I was watching this, I think this is one of the best scenes from the series. It was the most effective, I think, in the way they did it. It was just really, like, suspenseful, and that's something I haven't had in the show yet. It's like a true feeling of suspense, even though it's for a character that I don't really like.
I can't say, I can't say I had that same feeling,
Right.
But it was mostly because that character was involved, I guess,
Yeah.
Ava. So I guess that just turned me off right away.
Right. No, I just thought it was cool how she comes out and the music starts ramping up. It's very it's quiet at first, very peaceful, and then all of a sudden the porter is dead. I think it's a porter, the telegram guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's dead, and there's Indians just like she's looking through all the bed sheet or the sheets hanging, and you see an Indian flash by, and then like you just fire. It was just a creepy scene. I thought it was really, really well done, and that's something I haven't really seen from that show. From this show, I should say.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time. I mean, I guess there was a couple of like action war-ish scenes, and this was one that kind of just stuck in there at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah. And then we cut to Bohannon getting dunked in the water by the I shouldn't say Union shoulder. I guess it is Union shoulders, but
yeah. You could say Union soldiers.
Yeah, it is. But, the war's over, so I don't really know what to depict. I guess they are
Yeah.
Union soldiers, though. Yeah, and he's getting dunked in the water, and they want him to give up his previous posse members, and he's like, no. He's just being very Bohannon-like, not giving up his thing. And I thought it was pretty cool, I guess. And then they lock him in the barn or something like that.
Yeah, I kind of didn't like the first whole half of the episode, I guess. But it was, I don't know, it just didn't get going. Like,
yeah.
Get it, Bohannon's in captivity. Last episode, it was like, oh, he's up next to get shot, and it's like they're just delaying.
Right. No, that's definitely true. And no, I'm still so really the whole Bohannon on the run thing. You know,
you want that?
I want it. They set it up like, oh, Bohannon's gonna be on the run for like. I thought it was gonna be for like most of the season, not one episode. You know.
I thought possibly like it would be him, like chasing down the guys he wants to kill.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. I'm starting to think Hell on Wheels is the place of the show also.
Yeah.
So, and there's all those characters there. Granted, I wouldn't mind it just being a full Bohannon show with no other characters that are consistent, but
just him being chased by Marshall.
I think the fact that it's Hell on Wheels and all those characters have been established, they have to come back.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it would because they did it last episode when they went back and forth. I thought they could have kept doing it, but maybe there's budget constrictions or whatever. And then it goes back to Hell on Wheels where Durant is gathering up a posse to go to hit. I guess the town's called Durant to help all the residents who live there, but he doesn't let Common go because he has a job to do here, and we don't really know what that job is. It's more, I guess, just keeping the peace, but they haven't really come out and stated what he does yet.
Yeah, he's like protection for whatever Durant wants.
Right.
I guess. Usually he had him on the trains before.
Yep.
And now he wants him in Hell on Wheels. So.
I still don't understand how he rose to this badass status. What did he do that proved that he can like handle this stuff?
Well, Bohannon taught him how to shoot, so
apparently that's all it takes.
the
There's a couple
transitive
gun
property
shootings.
says he's almost as good as Bohannon.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't be as good as Bohannon because let's be honest.
I mean, he's definitely a better character so far than he was last season.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I feel like there was a gap there, and it didn't really explain it.
I agree.
But,
and yeah, that's all I want to say. Yeah.
Yeah. So they go to Durant, and all the townspeople are there leaving the town. They're like 7 are dead. The place is burned to the ground. Then they see all these Indians dancing or not dancing. They're like doing their yelping and stuff on
chanting.
The horse. Chanting. That's the word. Not yelping. They're not dogs. And apparently they're suing. They're sending a message because they don't want them on their land, which was basically hinted at last episode when Lily and Durant were looking at the valley ahead, and they're like, the Indians aren't going to like this if we go into their territory.
She sounds just like that.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I thought, didn't the Joseph, the guy was the Native American Indian before?
Yep.
He didn't he say they're far away from like their original land? Is it they're not like they're encroaching on their territory?
It's a different tribe. They're not.
No, that's what I'm saying. But the Sioux are far from their home.
Oh yeah. I guess they're. I think they're about to go into the Sioux territory. I think so. They're trying to prevent it.
Maybe that's okay.
Yeah. So. What do I have next in my notes? Bohannon don't feel bad. I don't know why I wrote that.
But was it because of the he had his whole
he says
speech about not speech but like conversation with that guy in the cell?
Right. Okay, now that makes sense. I was like, what am I writing right now? And I want to make clear that like for some reason when I type Bohannon on my phone, Bohannon comes out in all caps every time.
Oh, I was wondering why it's always all caps when you send it to me.
I must have done it once when I sent it to you, like Bohannon's on. And like from now on, it just keeps making it fucking capital letters. I'm not going to change it. I like that.
That's better.
Yeah.
Than before.
So, anyways, he has the talk with that doctor person. He's like, don't feel like he's like he says he doesn't feel bad for the way he killed Harper. And I guess that just shows that like Bohannon is like he just doesn't have feelings, I guess. Is that what the show is hinting at?
I guess, but like he's definitely depressed. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know if I like depressed Bohannon. But I guess he's kind of been moody the entire series.
I don't like Bohannon locked in a cell.
No. He's got to be free to roam like a horse or a wolf. Yeah, so I don't know. I like Bohannon with a chip on his shoulder. I don't like Bohannon with a moody disposition about him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that scene just like kind of seemed kind of melodramatic almost,
I mean, I understand like if he feels bad, but I don't understand the fact he says he doesn't feel anything.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't feel anything, then he wouldn't be
a skater.
All mopey.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe he's just feeling mopey because he doesn't feel anything.
But then he's feeling something.
I don't know. It's a paradox. I don't know.
I guess.
Yeah. So next we have the McGinnis brother exploiting the Durant people, overcharging their plots of land because they're desperate because they need somewhere to stay. And then Lily Bell confronts him and says no. She basically brokers a deal where he's still going to get his commission, but they're not going to upsell the the residents of Durant. I guess this scene was to show that like Lily Bell is like a good person, but
I think it's showing that like it's preparing her to like show like what her action later on, like she wants to protect these people. I think she feels like she was attacked by Indians, so she wants to protect those people.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then like Ava later on, when we'll talk about it, like she does something for her to try to make things better.
Okay, that makes sense. That's a good point. So yeah, that's a good one. And then we cut back to Bohannon where Durant frees him from the barn with a pardon. Yeah. I don't really. I mean, we all knew this was going to happen because they didn't spare any any plot detail when they showed this preview or next time.
You didn't know how they were going to get back together, but you knew they did.
Right. I think they pretty much just stated it in the next time. They're like, Durant's like, Bohannon, I need you to do your job again.
Yeah.
So
I guess I kind of still don't know what he needs. His job before is like a mason, right? Or like.
I think he wants him to. No, he was the.
Not a mason.
Foreman.
Foreman.
Yeah, I think he just wants he wants Bohannon to deal with the Indians. I'm pretty sure that's what he's. Because think about it, the Indians attacked him. He knows they're sending a message now, and now why else would he get Bohannon at the same time? It must be a cause and effect, right?
Maybe Bohannon can take on all the Indians at once.
He does have a gun. I don't know, but
yeah, I'm sure that's going to happen. But I kind of like these back on Hell on Wheels. I like that. We'll get into it.
Yeah, and now we come back to Ava, who wants justice for the murdering of the prostitute, and she doesn't want Common's money because Common came over and basically said, here's some money to help you get started. And she's like, I don't want your money, I want justice. And I don't know. I guess they kind of is still playing to that whole little romantic thing they have with each other.
Ugh.
I know.
Also, why didn't the McGinnis brothers offer to take care of that guy last episode?
Yeah, they said, well, we got to find, because, well, the whole point, we'll talk about this, obviously, but, I mean, I guess I was way off with the whole, one of the McGinnis brothers killing her so they can get on the market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're like, well, we have to find the real killer, but I guess they didn't even mention it in this episode, And I don't even know if that was the guy. But we'll talk about that later. But
what do you mean? What guy?
The guy that Common ends up killing.
You don't think that was the
I mean, he admits
the guy
to
who
it,
killed
but
the
I feel like he was just
whore?
taunting. I feel like he was just taunting Common. Like, this guy's not going to do anything. I don't know. I might be off still, but I still feel like it was the McGinnis brothers or brother.
I think you're wrong.
I probably am. That's what a clever show would do. I feel like.
You're wrong.
I feel like that's what a clever show should do.
They showed no evidence to that.
Well, they didn't show any evidence for anything.
That's what the killing would do.
The killing. You're disdain for that show. Anyways, so she wants justice. Common basically says he's not interested and walks off. And then we have one of the weirdest scenes I think I've ever seen from the show with the Reverend and the Swede talking over a campfire.
Yeah. Did they find a saber-toothed tiger?
Yeah. I just have Reverend/Swede Sabretooth ? Written down because I was just completely perplexed by the show. I don't even know what they were talking about half the time.
The White Walkers, I think.
The Reverend's just spouting nonsense. I feel like they're copying Deadwood, verbatim almost, with the whole Reverend losing his mind thing.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem. I don't get it. At least they explained it in Hell on Wheels because he had a tumor in his head. But with this guy, he's just wandering around doing nonsense from place to place and chopping people's heads off.
I just keep getting that feeling that the Swede's got something up his sleeve.
He does have. He keeps looking at Bohannon with these little looks like, I'm going to get you, But
I've got a saber-toothed tiger.
I don't what was he getting at when he picked why does he have a saber-toothed tiger head? He's like, I was just digging around.
I guess maybe it's possible that they could be finding fossils.
How fucking deep was he digging? What was he digging on the river?
I don't know, man.
Ugh, he pulls it out and I'm like, I thought he was gonna pull out a gun or something. No, he pulls out a fucking saber-toothed tiger head. What was he even hinting at?
What else could it even be? It's maybe I'm trying to think. Maybe we're wrong. It's not a saber-toothed tiger, but
no, it has to be a saber-toothed tiger. Those teeth were ginormous. Unless it's a walrus fucking. I don't know.
What if this just turns into I was like, what, is this show? When I was watching, I was like, is this show about to get real weird?
Is this Lost?
Is something weird about to happen? And then it did. but I was expecting like almost magic or something. Like I don't know.
I really have zero idea of like he was talking about evolution, right? Like when he pulled it out.
I didn't catch that.
That's what I thought he was talking about.
I thought he was just talking about the like folklore, Indian folklore, and some like white monster that eats people's skin. And I mean maybe I didn't follow it correctly, but
I didn't follow it at all because I was too taken. Like everything like went out the wind. Like the whole scene just went out my mind when I saw the saber-toothed tiger get pulled out.
that's true.
I'm like, what? I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me because he's like, I'm digging around on the riverbend and I found this.
Look what I found.
How do you just find that? Are they even indigenous to America?
On the other hand, though, I feel like this could be its own show.
I know.
Just show and tell with the Reverend and the Swede. Just it's a web series.
Like I looked it up and I couldn't find anyone that was talking about it.
Because no one watches the show.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, hold on. I got one. This guy said, "What?" This guy asked, "What was Mr. Swede holding in episode 2? A fossil of some kind?" And then, I don't know. Everyone's just
And?
no one knows.
Oh.
Everyone's like, "Is this show gonna go turn into a time traveling show?" Like we just said. That's funny.
I love these things.
I've gone through 8. Oh, yeah. Someone said it's a saber-toothed tiger. And the other is incredibly well preserved and intact. Definitely the weirdest scene from the series. I guess the Reverend chopping that guy's head off was pretty out there, but at least that was like believable. I don't know like where you find it. I'm gonna do some research for next episode about saber-toothed tigers. I really want to just tear this whole thing apart, like a saber-toothed tiger would. But all right, going on. Like we really don't know what that scene was about. It just kind of confused me. Next scene is Colin still has feelings for Ava, but because he turns down the bounty for the prostitute killer when Lily comes up to him. I think that's what it was going. Because Lily comes up to Colin and she wants justice for the prostitute killer, and he's basically he says he doesn't want to do it because who cares? It's just a whore. And Lily offers him some money, and he turns it down, but then he has a shot. Oh, she says, I'll just tell Ava that you said no then, because she was the one who wanted this. And then he looks at his face like, oh, Ava's talking about me? So, like, that's obviously not what he's thinking. Like, you can tell he obviously still has feelings. They're still playing with this love story, like we said before. Just kind of, I don't like the way they're doing it. I don't like love stories in general because I'm a guy. It's gonna sound.
I don't like it when Common and her are on screen and being like, being all like hard to get and whatnot, and just that's gonna go on for a couple more episodes.
It's like
and I just know it's
almost
not leading anywhere or whatever. But
very
I liked this one. I don't know why, but just that Lily Bell or just getting a little more things to do with her character, because otherwise before that she was just kind of like, I don't know, there to be saved, and then she didn't really do much the second season besides just interact with Durant.
Yeah. Are they sleeping together? Because there was a scene.
I guess I asked you this last season. You said no. Last episode, you said no.
Yeah, but this episode,
this one, it seems like they are.
They were in a train car, and there's one bed, and like half the bed was looks like she just got out of it when, like,
no, she was in the bed. He got out.
Yeah.
Because he was getting the telegram about.
You're right. Yeah.
The Indian killings, which you forgot to put in your notes.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I guess they are sleeping together. I don't know if they're banging or not, but they're sleeping in the same bed, which I'm kind of surprised about because I think.
So you wonder if they're in the bone zone?
I'm wondering if they're in the bone zone, but I guess they are. I was way off, but they don't.
I'm gonna guess they are. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't shown any kind of romanticism between the two.
I thought last episode that they hinted at it a little bit. I don't know why or how, but
I thought she was just playing. I think she's just playing him.
She wants Bohannon.
She wants Bohannon. Obviously, you saw the way she looked when she saw that he was
Oh my
back.
God, I saw it.
She has an eye for him.
I think she needs to change her panties after that.
Yep, there's pure panty peeler. So the next scene is Bohannon in the train car with Durant. And it kind of brought something to mind. I hate when the show plays modern music for some reason.
I am gonna totally disagree. I love the music in the second half. Actually, the whole episode, I like the music.
Really?
I like the music when it first started.
You like
the
when
first
they have, like,
season,
the modern music.
the first part of this episode. This whole episode, I thought it worked well. I don't know why.
Really?
But I did.
I feel like with a Western, you gotta have just scores. You can't have like singing music. You can't have like, I don't know. I feel like for me, it's just an opinion. I don't like it.
I think honestly, without the music this episode, I don't know. It would have been hard to watch.
Right. I don't know.
It's not all bad by itself, but I thought it was a good compliment. I liked it.
Okay.
I guess it's opinion, you know.
Yeah, it's all opinion. I just think it takes away from the show. I feel like just like when I'm watching not just westerns, just period pieces in general. I feel like it distracts me for some reason, but that's just me.
I can see why though. I agree.
The next
but
scene
I liked it.
Yeah. The next scene
you can't really take Hell on Wheels too seriously.
No, I know. I mean, I'm just nitpicking. This show hasn't got to the status where it would really like piss me off. It distracts me. Common stabs the
wait,
prostitute
we
killer.
didn't really talk about that whole
my bad. I just talked about
exchange
that.
between the two.
No, you're right.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, Durant was just basically like making Bohannon his bitch, but then Bohannon gets him in a chokehold and stuff. We never really see these two characters interact for the most part.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is. When they didn't really interact in the first season. You just
Yeah,
hired
they
him.
did.
I didn't think so.
He would like always report to Durant.
They never had any like real scenes though where they actually had a conversation. It was always just like very informal.
Somehow
it was the opposite. It was the formal.
He was about to be exiled from Hell on Wheels for killing the guy, and the Swede knew he did it, and he turned the tables on the Swede by talking to him. So talking to Durant,
they've never had a real conversation.
That was a real conversation.
I don't think so.
I think this one you're wrong about, Corey.
Agree to disagree. I feel like they've never had like an actual heart-to-heart type conversation. It's always been very.
But they
formal.
obviously have a history.
They have a history, but it's not like you never see them actually like getting real. They're never real with each other. That's what I'm trying to say. It's always it's always just formal. They're just playing the rules, I guess. I don't know how to fucking word this. They're not being real.
Anyways, I like the line where he says, sometimes you have to make a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
And I was thinking the exact next line. I was like, well, who's the devil in this one?
Yep.
And Bohannon actually says it. Do you think it was a little too much? Like, I mean, I had that in my brain, but I kind of liked it that they said it anyways because I need that reinforcement that I was right.
Just to make yourself, yeah, I did it. But no, yeah, I thought it was cool. I mean, I don't know, this whole episode, like, I felt like it didn't have the correct feel. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood to watch it. I just like, it didn't have. I can't like, except for that first scene, it wasn't effective at all. I feel like it almost. I can't say that it moves around too much because Game of Thrones does it, and I like how Game of Thrones does it. But with this show, it's like with the way it jumps from storyline to storyline, it's not cohesive. I don't know.
Yeah, Game of Thrones could be that way too, but I liked it because I got pumped up for the next episode. It was a good setup episode.
Right.
I got pumped up for the rest of the season because it gives it a general direction.
Mm-hmm.
We have an idea of what's going to happen, and like everyone's new reactions that Bohannon's back. I kind of want to see. I mean, we got to see like just them looking at him, but
yeah, he has an intern. He just got out.
I feel like this episode should have been the first week. Like they just wasted that whole first week on like depressed gothic Bohannon, I guess.
The first week where he was robbing trains, I thought that was a good episode. I like that more than this one. A lot more. Yeah, the next scene was when Common stabs the prostitute killer. So I guess it wasn't McGinnis, like I said before, but I still have my doubts. I was kind of surprised at the way they killed him.
I was that was seen. I don't know.
It's pretty dark.
I was just thinking about all of Common's like actions. Like he pulls a gun on him right away. Like that was dumb.
Right.
And then he finally does tell him he kills him, which I don't know why he does. Like, do you buy that he would tell him?
That's the thing. That's why I was like, I feel like he was just like taunting Common to be like, see, like this guy's not going to do anything because he said if they find out that a Negro, that's a quote unquote, so I'm not being racist. If he finds out that a Negro is like holding a gun to him, then the place is just going to go turn into a riot. I felt like then he says it just to test him, and obviously Common took out his knife and just stabbed the shit out of him.
I see. I didn't get that out of it at all. I just thought it was just a dumb scene all around. Like he was
no,
being
you're
dumb.
probably right.
Common
I'm
was
just saying
being
if it was a
dumb.
good show, that's how they should have played it.
What?
No, you're definitely right. I'm just saying if the show was actually good and clever, that's how they should have played it.
Oh.
But
yeah, and I just thought, thought it was about it being like acting stupid. Like I think it kind of shows like Common's not up to full level yet. I guess of
not Bohannon
he's not
status,
he's not full level Bohannon yet.
Right. I think of Bohannon's like a level 16. He's more like a level 48. He hasn't gotten enough like XP yet. Yeah. So that's how the season pretty much ends. Actually, not season. The episode ends with Bohannon getting off the train and going to his little room, and then all the characters are looking at him. So yeah, like you said, there's a lot of expectations for next week with all the interaction or reactions he's gonna have and where it goes from here. I think the season is gonna be a big war with the Indians.
Yeah, it looks like that way. I like the line where he says, "Oh, you don't have a gun? You're gonna need it."
Yeah. Yep.
So we're gonna see Bohannon get into little shootout actions.
Maybe it's gonna be like Batman and Robin with a Common and Bohannon.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be Robin is the question.
Well, I think that's not even a question, but
It should be Common, right? Yeah. So, anything else you have to say about this episode? This has been pretty long, but
I guess I'll just any ideas on the saber-tooth tiger thing? I think that's the only thing I can think of.
yeah, I don't know if you have any. I don't know. I really
Theory?
don't know. It just like you were talking before this. You said you don't even know if you want to watch the show anymore. Was that the scene you were talking about?
No, not at all. It was just some of the boring. I pretty much hate that Ava character.
Yeah.
I dislike her the most, and whenever she's on screen or central focus of the show, I was thinking, like, I just start losing track, and I just don't want to watch, and then all of a sudden I get tuned in, and I'm just watching the next half of the episode like a normal show that I like, and
Exactly.
I don't know.
I feel the
it
same
just does
way.
that sometimes. So
Yep. That's how I kind of get with what was that character's name in Game of Thrones? The one that Rob wants to marry.
Oh God.
I forget her name, but that's how I feel. So overall rating, what would you give this episode on a scale of 1 to 10?
6.5.
All right. I agree. I give it a 6. It just wasn't. It's a Hell on Wheels episode. Like I haven't seen a Hell on Wheels that's really blown my mind yet, and
Excuse me.
that's the thing with the show. I feel like there's a lot of potential, and they just don't give me a payoff. Is what I guess I want to say. They're not living up to their potential because I feel like it could be a really good show, but they're just not playing it right.
I'm trying to think of the feeling I have towards the show. It's just basically, I don't know. I'm really just along for the ride, and I just don't really expect much, so it kind of helps a lot.
Right.
But I am looking forward. Like they get me excited. They can get me excited to watch the next episode. I don't know how they do it. They don't use like cliffhangers or anything, but they got me excited.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's do our plugs, I guess, because that's the best part of the show is when we plug it, right? So if you have any questions or comments, follow us on Twitter at TheCCConnection. Email us at TheCCConnection@gmail.com if you have any suggestions and stuff. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. Just search TheCC Connection or CNC Connection. There's a plus in the middle for the and. Subscribe to this YouTube channel or our CC Connection YouTube channel. Again, like you did before, comment below, and we'll probably review some of the comments from the previous week. And watch our other podcast episodes. We do other TV shows such as Breaking Bad, The Newsroom.
Ugh.
I agree. I'm just waiting for the show to be over with. And we do Game of Thrones, but that's coming up. The show Colin, remember last week we were talking about the show we were forgetting?
Which show is that?
Well, we listed a bunch of shows we were going to be doing for the fall.
Yeah, I'm asking which show were we forgetting?
Boardwalk.
Oh, okay.
We forgot Boardwalk. So that's another show we're going to be doing in the fall. And we do other stuff like sports and movies and reviews. So this is the CNC Connection signing off.
Bye.